So that leads into my second question, which is for me. When you're dating a guy that could be seen as like, you know, a guy that makes more money than you or a guy that can provide more than you can, what can you provide as a female? You know, because like, what can you provide to a man that has it all? Because in a man in like your guys' situations, you guys might have a lot of like pussy being thrown at you. There's BBLs, there's prettier faces, you know? So like, what can a girl do to like secure her spot as the main girl?
That's a good question.
Very good question.
And I wish more women asked that, dude. I really do wish more women asked that.
Question.
Yeah, she asked really good questions.
Yeah.
Chris, you want to take it first? Special guest of honor.
Yeah, I mean, just know what the guy does, man. Know what he likes, and just fill in the gaps. Don't be annoying. Like, if, for example, if he streams, say, hey, listen, do you need some coffee for your stream? Do you need some tea? What do you need? Do you need to order some products? Just be that girl who fills in the gap, all right? Some girls, what they like to do is, you know, oh, you stream too much or you do this too much, and they want to be...
They complain
a lot. So, I mean, for the most part, just fill in what he needs, because at the end of the day, guys, you know, they fight the world every day, and when they come home, now you're like, they're fighting this bitch, not you personally, but the girl next to them is like, what the fuck, you know what I'm saying? So, end of the day, if we already fucked you, then what else can you do to provide that niche?
Yeah, so Chris brought up a very good point. I think after sex, how do you maintain the guy other than just that? And for the most part, I think girls think, oh, you know what? I give him pussy, so I'm good to go. However, like you said earlier, if you have a ounce of care or consideration, what's he doing? What's his business? What is he about? And if you can actually like add value to his life, which means, let's say he has a business, like Chris was saying earlier, you make sure you fit in, you add in a lot of value to his business, or for example, what he needs. Don't be a headache, don't be a bother or nag. Then he's like, you know what? She's cool. It's great times with her, and there's no stress. I have peace. I'm gonna keep her around. So I would say that goes a long way. And then Myron Gaines.
So the biggest thing is to differentiate yourself from other women. Most women are what I call interchangeable components to a man's spoke wheel. Your goal is to become an indispensable spoke in the cogwheel that's irreplaceable by another part. And what I mean by that is, yeah, sure, if you tried to put another piece in there, it might work, but it won't work at the same optimality. And I think that's on the woman to come in and have those critical thinking skills and be like, okay, this guy needs this done. I see gaps here, etc., just like Chris was saying. And it's your job to basically figure it out and do it without him telling you. Like, there's something crazy about a girl that can like figure out what a problem is and make your life easier, so you don't have to think about certain things, so that you can go from like maybe 90% performance to 93 performance or 95, or if he was already at 100, like a guy that you're talking about that has everything, he's performing at 101 or 102. And when you get to the highest levels, that 1 or 2 percentage means a lot, right? So I think that's where it comes in, where the more successful the guy, the more he has, the harder you have to work to figure out what he doesn't have. And I think if women did that more often, they'd be able to keep men around. But the problem is that a lot of girls come into a relationship like, okay, what can this guy do for me? And guys will play that game. They'll offer you the world, I'll fly you out, blah, 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 get what they want.
Fresh.
Boom, rug pull you, get and just leave. But if you're able to come in, add value, it's like, damn, I can't really operate at optimality without this chick by my side. That's how you get brought on the trips. That's how you get introduced to his friends. That's how you get put into certain networks, etc. And another thing, too, you got to accept that he's going to fuck other bitches.
Damn.
That's the dark one that no one wants to accept. So not only do you have to be an interchangeable piece and irreplaceable, you now have to share him with women that are replaceable.
But why, though?
Why?
Yeah.
Because men don't climb the ladder of success to have sex with one girl. That's just an unfortunate reality. It's very difficult for a man to earn his value, and once he does, the last thing he wants to do is have it to just one girl.
But then when you do the same thing, you like lose value in his eyes.
Yeah, because women's value comes from sexual temperance and preserving their value, not giving it to a bunch of random guys. That's where women's value comes from. So, you know, and I guess it's and here's the thing, I've said it before, it's a sucky double standard,
yeah.
But it's a double standard that actually benefits women more, because at least you get the value up front and it's up to you how you choose to spend it. Men have to get that value down the road, and it's not even guaranteed. So if the guy has to work to earn that value, he's not going to want to have one girl. Most successful men almost always have multiple women. Maybe they'll have one main chick and a couple mistresses. Maybe they have multiple wives. But men almost always, when they're successful, have multiple women. So I tell girls, look, it's raining outside. Here's an umbrella. It's up to you if you want to go out with the umbrella and get wet or not. But I'd rather arm women with the facts and let them know that if you want a successful man, 9 out of 10 times, you're gonna have to share them.
So can I ask you a question kind of going off of that?
Sure.
Is it possible for a guy to say that he loves his girlfriend, this, that, and the third, y'all been, well, I wouldn't say girlfriend, but let's say like y'all been really connecting and you kind of get to that level of like, oh, I love you. But let's say y'all aren't ready to really commit to that. Is it possible for a guy to say, I love you to a girl, but still go and fuck other bitches?
Yes. 1,000%.
Unfortunately, yes. Yeah. And I know for a lot of women, it's very difficult to fathom because for you guys, your sexuality typically is tied to some type of emotional connection. Most of the time, some girls can sport fuck, but most women can't. So for you guys, it's like you can't fathom, like, how can I tell this man I love him and go fuck another guy? Men are capable of doing that because we can separate sexual desire and lust with emotional connection with one woman. We can absolutely separate it because we're physical. You guys are more emotionally sound. Like, they always say, women fall in love through the ears, men fall in love with their eyes. That's why women wear makeup and men lie. That's just how it is. So for men, we're very visual. We can have sex with a girl and literally go back to our girlfriends. I mean, I'll be honest, I'm in an open relationship. I appreciate my girl more when I go fuck other bitches. If I'm going to be all the way 1,000 with you, I genuinely appreciate shut up. I genuinely appreciate my main girls way more when I come back to them because I'm like, damn, these other girls are fucking useless.
How many girls do you have?
What? Confidential, classified. Classified at the moment. A couple.
I have a question.
Allegedly. Willing to add some more?
Why don't make her the main one then? Like make it official. If you appreciate her that much.
No, she is main.
No, it is official.
No.
But you said you've been fucking another girls.
That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. You have main and you have sides and you have, that's just how it goes.
Wait, so if you're in a relationship for like, let's say, like you started dating junior year of high school and you're going into your like sophomore, junior year of college, like you together for real. But your girl is expected to be okay if like you're in college just fucking these bitches in the dorm or like doing whatever. And then like you go back and like, oh no, but I still love you.
Oh no, I'm not telling you to tolerate this from any guy.
Okay. I was just
this is a high value. Yeah, you gotta tolerate this from a guy that's worth tolerating it from. That's why her specific question was like, how do you deal with a guy that has it all? Well, number one, be an interchangeable part, a non-interchangeable part. You need to be irreplaceable, unlike the other girls who are interchangeable components. And then you need to accept the fact that he's probably gonna want to go ahead and exercise the options that he's worked so hard to attain.
Yeah, pretty much.
If he's broken, not a leader, if he's just gonna like a regular average guy, then obviously you don't want to make that serious because it won't last.
But
anyway.
I tell women too, average guy's gonna cheat on you as well a lot of the times.
Yeah,
right. like men are typically only as faithful as their options. So
what if your options are better than the main girl? Like, let's say your main girl has it all, like everything you're looking for, and she provides everything to the table, like fills in the gaps. However, but like then what if the other girl that you're fucking like eats ass and the other bitch don't eat ass? You feel me? So now you like the side bitch because she eats ass, but the main bitch don't.
Lady,
that's not a stretch. Guys like freaky bitches. So if your side bitch is freakier than the main bitch,
you made a good point. Guys will cheat with the freaky bitch, but they'll wife the quiet bitch. Yeah, right.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So even though she's like sexually more appealing and more like fun to be around, they'll never take out in public like, oh, this is my girl. You feel me? So that level of like sexuality and level of like, I guess like lust is great to just have fun with, but never take serious.
Wait, question. Do you eat ass?
No, never. I would never eat ass.
If you do, it's fine.
I know a lot of girls that eat ass though.
Yeah. She's like, damn, man.
I can't compare to a bitch that eats ass. You feel me?
I mean, hey, listen, that's what he likes.
But I think the biggest thing is to understand that, what a guy commits to versus what a guy finds sexually arousing or what he deals with sexually are two different things. A lot of the times you're better off being on the I'm getting committed to side, and the component of getting to get on the committed side is having some type of sexual or temperance. If a guy can bring you around his family or his friends and not be embarrassed, that's a good sign. Yeah. But if you do all this freaky shit in the bedroom and you don't want to bring you around his friends or he doesn't claim you publicly.
Now, I am curious though to hear the older women speak on this. So from your experience, what do you think? Do you think guys are gonna be faithful to you at a higher level or not really from your experience?
I think it's how you train them.
Oh, wait, what? Train them?
I mean, I think it's what you tolerate.
Misogyny.
So you train your men?
I mean, I don't train them, but I mean, I'm not going to.
I mean, she's older, so she.
I am older, yeah, a lot older.
Every guy she probably dates.
So, in my experience, what you allow proliferates, and I mean, if you cut off certain behaviors, they stop.
So I guess the question is, what would you say would allow you to say, you know what? All right, I'll look past that.
Or is that a non-negotiable? Is sexual fidelity a non-negotiable for you?
it's a non-negotiable if that's what the deal is. Like if we came into the deal, this is the deal. Like I'm not fucking around, you're not fucking around, this is the deal. But then you break the deal.
Okay.
The deal's over.
That's fair.
Okay,
That's
but
fair.
if you come into it and say you're not going to be the only one, and I agree to that, well then I can get mad at that.
Understandable.
That's fair.
Okay. I agree with that, right? I do agree that men should be honest and
From the
upfront.
very
That I want to
beginning.
have. I'm not going to be monogamous to you. That's how we approach it. But most men are not going to do that. Like it's just not going to happen
because girls can't handle the truth.
They can't. Yeah.
But I do agree with what you said about it gets thrown around a lot, the term high value men. But I think if you're a high value woman, if you let's face it, a man is there to protect and provide. If you don't need the provide, if you can provide for yourself, and I'm not talking about like a Gucci bag, a Chanel bag. I'm talking about like provide me safety, provide me something biologically I need.
Yeah.
If you can't do those two things, then you're worthless to me. And so I'm not going to put up with you like fucking around because.
So I'll give you my controversial take what I'm about to say right now, and especially as an educated woman like yourself, you might not like what I'm going to say.
Misogyny.
I genuinely don't think there's a such thing as a high value woman because all women have value. So therefore, it'd be kind of ridiculous to say that there's high value women out there. And what I mean by that is a woman can only claim she's high value if she has a high value man that co-signs her. She can only become high value by taking a high value man's last name because becoming high value is very difficult to attain. And I argue that all women have value, not like men. There's a lot of low value men, so some like mid-level men, and then there's some high value men. But all women to some degree have value because a woman that's average can absolutely bat 5 levels above her and get a high value man, but it can't work the other way around. So since those sexual dynamics are so polarized, I don't think there's such thing as a high value woman unless there's a high value man co-signing her.
I disagree.
Okay, sure.
Because some people think that Andrew Tate is a high value man, but I wouldn't consider him to be a high value man. So if he was to co-sign me as a high value woman, it would mean nothing to me because I don't see him in that light.
Okay.
Hurrah!
Fair assessment, but this is where I disagree with you. Being high value doesn't necessarily deal with morality. Does he have status? Does he have respect from peers? Does he have respect? I mean, in his case, he has respect worldwide. He has financial success, right? We could take it a step further. Trained martial artist, 4-time kickboxing world champion.
Yep.
On paper, he's absolutely high value.
Yep.
Now, and any woman that gets with him is going to acquire the Tate last name and be high value as a byproduct of it. So though he might not be your cup of tea, it's pretty irrefutable that he is a high value man.
But if you
because he's high value in the metrics that make a man have value in the world. So a man's value is 1,000% determined by the impact that they create in the world.
Yeah.
Right. A man's last name only carries value if he's able to change other people's lives to some degree. That's why people that are lawyers, doctors, celebrities to a degree, etc., they have value and status from their accomplishments, and that is where their value comes from. People respect them, etc. So men, we acquire value much differently than women do. We acquire it through status. You guys acquire it through beauty. And then being able to get a man that has status. Now, some women are able to go ahead and get status on their own, right? You have 3 PhDs, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Oh,
Educated, etc. But unfortunately, that's the equivalent to a man being extremely metrosexual, extremely good looking, but broke. Because even though he's attractive and he's beautiful, that is not a commodity that women seek. Just like a woman that has education, status, and income, that is not a commodity that men generally
No,
seek.
you're right. Because in Miami, I just moved to Miami. I mean, literally, I go to you can go to any store in the mall, Forever 21, H&M, Zara. The women working at the cash register literally are like the most beautiful women you've ever seen in your life. I'm like, are you like a Victoria's Secret, like Brazilian supermodel? And she's high value. She's not educated.
Well, she's not high value unless she gets a high value man.
Well, she will though, looking like that.
Yeah, if she can. If she can land him and get his last name, because they could get fucked. But can she get his last name?
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I'm really happy that I have you guys on the panel because you guys are higher IQ. Let me tell you from experience of being here, most women are absolutely retarded in Miami. I can't have discussions like this with them. You're very educated, well-spoken, etc., able to articulate your points. You, from a cognitive level, are better than most women. However, a lot of these women that you're way smarter than will beat you to get one of these guys because they might be more attractive or younger. Because men typically don't care about a woman's education or status. Even though you work really hard to acquire these things, these are male metrics of success, unfortunately. Which is why I tell successful women all the time is like, that's great. It's awesome. You can have a great conversation with a guy. He might be intrigued, but are you going to beat out the 21-year-old model? It's gonna be tough.
So then how does that add value to the 21-year-old model? Because you said the other guy has to like co-sign for her. So if that's who he chooses, but yet she doesn't have like no IQ or no education, then how does that make her a high value woman?
Well, he can make her into his woman and make her the best girlfriend for him. That's why leadership is so important for men.
Look at it this way, like Donald Trump. Everyone been know who Donald Trump is, but who did we know Mrs. Trump until this man was president? Like, let's be real. You know what I'm saying? But kind of like, it's.
Hold on, I'll take it a step further, real quick, just because you just mentioned a good point. Monica Lewinsky became famous off of sucking a high value man's dick. Think about that for a second. Think about that for a second. That happened almost 30 years ago. We still know her name to this day.
So,
intern, 18 years old. She got her status simply from sucking a high value man's dick. If that does not prove that women acquire status through men, I don't know what else does.
To your point, Kim Kardashian, Ray J. Yeah. I hit it first.
Pretty much.